Hello everyone, and welcome to Connors of Spear Tier 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis, and we're here for the Singapore Grand Prix, the longest race and probably the hardest race of the season. Yeah, really looking forward to it. We will see some great battling, 100%, maybe safety cars, you never know. We saw a lot of them at Belgium over the last week, so yeah, it won't be a surprise to see them out here. Lewis, happy you're here with me again. Yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Welcome everyone to this broadcast of the Tier 3 race. Like you mentioned, longest race, arguably toughest race, street track. What more can you want? It's always a tough one, Singapore, because like any street circuit, you brake a little bit too deep, especially on the heavy fuel load or the worn tyres at the end of the stint. You're at the wall, damage, strategy completely screwed. It's a slow pit lane, so really one stop should be the way to go unless we have safety cars. But yeah, it's just a real, you win this race, you feel like you've really deserved it.
Oh yeah, 100%. It feels so rewarding when you get a good result around here. Little bit of housekeeping to do after last week's race. We had to say goodbye to BVG. He was caught up in too many incidents over the last couple of weeks. To replace him, we got, let's quickly go to him, Jizzy in the Racing Point. He is the little brother from Jay Prentice, if I'm not mistaken. So that's good to see. We got the Riley brothers, we got Fruitful and Robin, and now we got Jay Prentice and Jizzy. So that's lovely to see all the family getting involved. Hopefully I didn't miss. Oh yeah, and Manny Robo and Dan Robo. So yeah, it's looking quite good. It's just brilliant to have him in here, and let's see what he can do in the Racing Point, like I said.
Yeah, that's it. Not a bad race to have your debut on. I had my debut around this track as well, and guess how that ended. Almost like the Renault there of Jay in the wall there. Jay on his, I think that's on an outlap. Jay has damaged his front wing, got caught out there in the third sector, so he's going to have to pit. He was on the soft tyre anyway, which I'd suspect he wouldn't do a hot lap on. But yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I had my debut here, and yeah, I did make check flag. It was one of my first ever 50% races. It was quite a learning curve, I must say. Back on the old 2018 game. But yeah, it's a track, Sector 3, that bit going underneath that grandstand. It is so easy to make a mistake. It looks so and feels so clumsy. You brake out a little bit too late, and just it's almost like the tyre wall like sticks out on purpose. You just clip your wing on it, and fortunately for Jay, it's happened right now, not in the race.
Yeah, that's that's something positive to take. Luckily he's doing it now and not in the race, like you said. Yeah, a little bit about the track. We see a lot of people going out on the hard tire now, because this is definitely a track where you want to avoid the soft tires. They're absolutely terrible around here. 2 laps, they're already overheating. Maybe even without setting any lap times, the tires are already overheating. So yeah, you definitely want to avoid those tires. You want to qualify on those yellow wall tires. You only got one set available to start the session with, so we'll probably see a lot of guys at the end of the session going for the medium. Until then, yeah, people going for softs, but they probably won't be setting some quick lap times on those softs, and guys pushing on the hards to get into the rhythm. Got a little bit of inside info from Steve, who said it was gonna rain at the end of the race, so that's gonna be very interesting, because will those mediums make it till the rain period, or will those guys have to stop for maybe softs? You don't want that, or another set of mediums, maybe even hards again. It will be very interesting to see. Strategy, as always, will play a big factor once again. I'm absolutely sure of that one, as KV just puts in a 1:37.5. Yeah, really looking forward to how the strategy and how the race will plan out.
So is the rain coming in at the end?
Yep, at the end of the race. So you want to go for a sort of hybrid setup as well, because you don't want to be too slow at the start of the race, but you don't want to be too slow at the end of the race as well. So it is a tricky one. You rather have it the same weather over the whole race or whole of qualifying. Now you're sort of in between and you don't know what to do. It's always a difficult situation. We had it in Tier 2 with Canada as well. I think it's just that situation where you just don't know what to do. So we'll be very interested to see what these guys will go for.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing, I suppose, is when it's going to rain. Like how soon towards the end. If it's halfway, well, not halfway, but if it's 3/4 point of the race, or later, you might think, well, screw it, go on the dry tyre because you're going to make such a difference at that point. However, you're on a dry setup, the car's going to be extremely loose, and are you going to want to risk hitting the wall? So, I get it, it's a very tough one. Yeah, well, we'll see, we'll find out. A few of the guys, so obviously Cygate going on the soft tyre, 1:37.0 isn't necessarily a quick lap time, to be fair, so I would expect the medium runners, the guys on mediums to beat that lap time, so it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to stick on to softs for the beginning of this race, but this is the only problem when we have this, where the soft tyre is not the tyre you want to use. You get a bit of a quiet point in quali, particularly in these opening few minutes. Majority of people having hard tyres on, getting hard tyres on, and that is because you only get a shot of one hards and one mediums. So unfortunately we don't get quite as much action as we normally do, but the next I'd say the next 6 minutes, 10 minutes rather, will be a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, it's a shame the game just doesn't allow you to pick more sets of medium tyres, because then we would see a lot more action, like you said. But yeah, we can't do anything about that. You've got to deal with the situation, and it will be very interesting to see, like you said, if people are gonna go for the dry setup and trying to make progress early on in the race. Yeah, the thing is about this game, you get the weather before the start, where it's a sort of prediction where you can go from. But it's not always accurate, and that's the dangerous part. That's the risk you take by going on to a dry setup, knowing that it's gonna rain at the end of the race, because you don't know when the rain is gonna come. It was at Silverstone where we saw that the rain was gonna come halfway through the race, and it started raining on the formation lap. So it's so inaccurate that is it worth taking the risk going for a dry setup knowing it's gonna rain? Like, when the rain is not gonna come, or when it's gonna come down with like 5 laps or something to go, it's definitely worth taking the risk. But that's the thing, you just don't know. So yeah, it will be very tricky for these guys to judge the situation.
I think it's very much a case of sticking to what is your principle? How do you treat it? Are you more aggressive and thinking majority of the race is going to be dry, so I'm going to put all the chips in on dry and deal with it when it rains? Or are you that guy who likes to have a bit, put a bet on one, but a bet on the other, even your bets out? So it's a bit of a safer choice. You're more likely to definitely score finishes, points rather. Will you be, had you gone for the gamble, you've been further ahead at that point before it rains. So it's a tricky one, but I think there might be someone. Oh no, it's just slowed down there. I thought someone crashed in the end of sector 3, but it was just a guy trying to. I think it was the Renner of Connell trying to get out of the way.
I was the Williams of Pure Blades, I think it was,
Okay.
slowing down. Yeah, because housekeeping as well, 2.0. Sneaky Tom's got a quali ban, so that's why he retired already. He did not make any mistakes. He just retired and just did his thing. So well done to him. No worries about that one. So yeah, Pure Blaze is the only one for Williams to save the pride for them. Other than that, Tichy just set his fastest lap time of today on the mediums with a 1:36.4, where Dan just before puts his lap a 1:36.8 on the softs. So that's interesting to see, because has Dan something left in the tank to improve on that soft tire time, or is he genuinely gonna go for the softs? You never know.
Yeah, we have had our first no front nose job of the day, and that was Muzzer. So on his hot lap on mediums, it's been ruined because he must have had a big impact somewhere. He's currently down in P19. Yeah, down 1:36.8. I mean, it's definitely beatable on mediums that time. So I'd be surprised if that was his ultimate pace on that soft tyre. 1:36.4 at the moment, potentially said is the fastest. Tichy, Stumpy was definitely quicker as well. Stumpy's going to be on mediums. He's on a hot lap. In fact, Stumpy is in the final sector here. and is 9/10 up on his previous best. I expect Stumpy to be around P1 here as he comes towards the line. It's a 1:36.1. He's on pace with what he was doing in the practice race earlier, and it's very close. 1:36.1 for Stumpy. Tichy, Ferrari 1-2 now. Tichy 3/10 behind, but expect many more runners to be updating. Ricky as well. I expect him to be. He looked pretty quick in practice race earlier today. I'd expect him to be around the top 3 runners.
Yeah, big improvement for Stampy, and with a Ferrari 1-2 it's not looking good for Mercedes. Getting the standings now on screen, it's looking really good for Ferrari. They can actually wrap up the championship in today's race. I think with only scoring 6 points or something they don't have to do a lot. Yeah, Ferrari is on 258 and Mercedes is on 195, so that's a big gap between the two, and a 1-2 for Ferrari right now at this point is looking very solid with Massa in P19. Of course he made the mistake, but it's not good for your confidence if you're already making mistakes. Luckily he does it now, not in the race, together with Connell, like you said, but it's not good for your confidence knowing that you got to perform in today's race. So we'll be very interested to see what those both Mercedes drivers can do in the battle. Of course, we've got the battle between Stampy and KV going on as well. KV outscored Stampy last week by, I think it was 7 points. Not too much, but it's 7 points definitely well in the bag for KV, so he will be looking to take advantage of it and improve once again. Currently in P5, but still on those hard tires, so we still got to wait and see what he can do on those mediums. Other than that, nothing really else to mention. Going on board with Matty Robbo, who is on soft tires surprisingly enough, so is he gonna qualify on the softs together with his teammate?
They must be on an alternate strategy, surely. I mean, I'm guessing, are they thinking about the long-term game with the fact it's going to rain? It could be a stroke of genius, because obviously in a full dry race, it's madness. It's 2 stops, and because it's a slow pit lane, it makes a pit stop here longer than others. So normally, it's medium to hards. But if the rain is coming, that means they could do a soft to medium strategy. And hope that by the time it rains, that coincides with them finishing on the medium tyres. That would be, in theory, a faster strategy than doing the long game of the mediums and then on to hards. So it could be something. It could be something good, you know. But it is a risky, because it relies purely on the rain coming at the right time. The medium tyres, you get about, well, you could definitely probably reach about 12-13 laps, but you're losing time by the time you get into that 13-14 laps on the mediums. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. So you might even consider being on the safety. You might consider going soft to hards, possibly.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Yeah, the thing is, like, gambling on the safety car with the situation we had at Belgium could be really pay out at the end of the day for the likes of Dan and Matty Robo and Massa as well on those softs. Gambling on that safety car and actually a safety car coming out as well could really help them. If the safety car comes not up, then they've got a problem, because then they've got to at least stop twice. If the rain is not gonna come out too early. We got a Red Bull in the wall, I think. That's Kelsweg coming out of turn 6.
Sorry, Thomas. Ricky is on purple sector. He's in the final sector now.
Go on board with him. Good shout. As he goes under the tunnel. And now to the last section of this track. Double left-hander for him to go. He's gonna put it on pole position. Ricky in the racing point. Oh, takes a lot of that curb, but it's all good. Onto the line. P3, 2/10. Fastest sector 3, but not enough for Ricky to take pole position.
Yeah, great lap by Ricky. Yeah, I think he's definitely stronger in the race as well. in the practice race, me and Ricky were pretty even on pace. We were actually dropping the Ferrari off Stumpy. So I'll be looking out for Ricky in the race. It's definitely going to suit more the heavy fuel loads than it did in quali.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting. Then it's out on the soft tires.
Yeah.
He's gonna go for it. Entering the last sector now. We'll go on board with him, as he's probably gonna be one of the first drivers to set his last lap of today. Through the double left-hander to start his lap. DRS open, ERS mode 4 enabled, and it's go time for Dan now. It's time to focus, get into that rhythm. Fast left-hander, need to make sure you don't go too wide, because otherwise it will invalidate your lap time. Tight left-hander onto the fast right-hander, and the first DRS detection point, that is here. Then with DRS open, the straight where overtaking is definitely possible if you got good downforce or straight line speed on your car. Hard braking zone onto the left-hander, which will be followed by an immediately right. Try to go for first gear, interesting. Up into third gear and then onto a little tiny straight once again onto the Singapore sling. Was a very tricky corner a couple of years ago, made it much easier now. Onto the big bump, you can actually cut a little bit of it without getting an invalidation, and then onto the hairpin, big braking zone, very easy to lock up your tires. Then onto the third straight around this track. Like I said a couple of years ago, you had DRS around here. That's not the case now. You've got to do it on pure pace from yourself, and on to the very tricky sector 3, very tight section, easy to lose a little bit of your front wing. Quick right left, and then onto the tunnel for another left right, and then it's the DHL section with a right left onto the double left-hander to round off the lap. Is then gonna be able to put it on pole position. It's one left-hander, is the second left-hander onto the start finish straight. Oh, he puts it on P3 with a 136.2.
Yeah, Muzz is also there in the P2 position. So Tichy's dropped down to P5, but Tichy is on an out lap. Matty Robbo as well on an out lap. So, and in fact, is Matty on a hot lap? Surely Matty's on a hot lap.
It says he's on an out lap, but he's definitely on a quick lap.
Yeah, so
Tichy as well, by the way. He just finished sector 2 now. He's going towards the tunnel. So we definitely need to keep an eye out for him, because he could challenge that pole position. Currently, pole position for his teammate Stumpy in P1 with the Mercedes behind in P2. Can Tichy actually do something? He turns off his ERS. That's his lap over. It stays P6 for Tichy. Matty Robbo, is he able to improve on that P9 on those soft tires? He needs to improve, otherwise he will be very disappointed about his qualifying result. Oh, touched a little bit of the curb, maybe even the wall, but it's all good, no wing damage. And now towards the end of the lap, you've got a racing point in front, pulls into the pits, so all clean air for Matty Robbo onto the start finish line, and he puts in P1 with 146.1. That's crucial for Matty Robbo.
1,000th of a second. He just seemed to be carrying more speed than Dan was. Dan was driving very neat and tidy when I was on board with him, but he just wasn't carrying the same speed that you could get away with on the soft tyre. He was being very careful. Whilst Dan was carrying out a bit more, Matty was carrying out a bit more speed, and just pips into P1, like you said, crucial. Ahead of the soft runners and ahead of the field.
Yeah, crucial stuff for Matty Robbo, who puts it on pole position by 1,000th of a second.
I think that's his first pole as well.
Could definitely be. I think so. Yeah, Stumpy won't be too happy about it, because Matty Robbo is most likely to get a better start as well with those grippier soft tires. But fair enough for Stumpy, because he is the first one on those mediums. Behind him Mazza, and then a few medium runners with KV, Ricky, Tichy before then on the softs again. So both Alphas, surprisingly enough, opted to go for the soft tires during qualifying. Are they hoping for the rain to come down early enough? So let's see. behind this you've got Sygate on softs and Jay Prentice and Connor rounding off the top 10 both on mediums. Then we got Jizzy on his debut P11, well done to him. Pure Blades P12, Raidcon P13, Frotz Alfredo P14, Steve P15, Mills is P16, Jay P17, Kelsweg P18 and Sneaky Tom of course with their qualifying ban in P19. The guys outside of the 10 are allowed to choose on whatever tire they want to start on, so they got a free choice of tire. The top 10 has to start on the following tires like you see on screen now. So yeah, looking forward to it. Will be very interesting to see when the rain comes down as well. That will be the most crucial part about this race.
Yeah, absolutely, and look out for Stumpy. Obviously, he's going to be surrounded by that second row of Dan and Muzzer on those soft tyres, so they're going to get a better start, and that first few corners as well have more grip. I'd expect them getting past and slowly pulling away in those first couple of laps.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I don't think those soft runners will be able to pull away, because those soft tyres are terrible around here.
Granted,
so yeah.
But it's still that little bit you get at the very beginning where obviously the tyre hasn't overheated yet and does in general have more grip. But yeah, it's not going to be a long-lasting advantage. That's for sure.
Yeah, we got LR McCrew in the chat. He says, "I hear a Dutch commentator." Yeah, I try to like sort of hide it. I don't want to say it like that, but I want to make sure that it doesn't sound too Dutch. So hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, indeed I'm Dutch. So yeah. I would say you've got to do with it. I can't do anything about it. That's just how it is. Yeah, I just try my best to I'm not trying to be Louis van Gaal or something. That's what I'm trying to prevent. Well, but other than that, it should be all good.
Yeah, I can safely say you do not sound Louis van Gaal-esque. Yeah, you're all good, man.
Class, that's good. That's good. Sygate was the first one to press X, but I think it was all good as we waited a long time, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem, I think. Oh, and he's touched himself as well. That's class. Get the Dutchies in the chat.
Arbo says he wants another first lap in Dutch.
When are we getting a first lap in Dutch? Oh no. I don't think people are waiting for that one. You never know. Well, it won't be good.
It makes a return.
We've got 50 people watching right now, and there will only probably be like 2 or 3 guys being able to understand what I'm going to say. So I will leave it until the last race. If it's highly requested in the chat for next week's race, I will do it. But otherwise, just keep it safe in English. It's hard to think as well, because like when I'm trying to talk Dutch, you want to say those words in English. Weirdly enough, it's like so bad when I'm trying to commentate in Dutch, because you're just not used to it. So it's really strange.
Yeah, because you only really commentate in English. I totally get it. It must feel a bit weird.
So let's see. We got the tires on screen right now. Outside of the top 10, GC and Blades opted to go for the mediums. We got Raidcon, Forza Fredo, Steve, Milsies and Jay on the hards, and Kelsweg and Tom both on mediums. The top 10 is still the same, of course. Seeing that Jizzy, Blades, Kelsweg and Tom are going for the mediums, does that say that they think they will make it till the rain period?
Well, that's what you'd think, because the other guys, the hards can last pretty much very, very deep into the race, can't they? So obviously the hard is the safety tyre. However, will he be able to get a big enough gap on the mediums? Probably not. Yeah, especially if there's a safety car before the rain comes as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I think being on the hards, I think those guys, the Raidcon below, I think they're in the driving seat. The guys in the midfield and the mediums, they're a bit in no man's land. But it'll be interesting to see how the soft runners, how their strategy pans out. There's 4 of them out there: Matty on pole, Muzzer, Dan, and then Sygate in P8. So let's see how they get on.
Yeah, get your predictions in the chat as well before we start today's race. I already see a lot of fans for Ricky in the chat as well, for Sneaky Tom. Tichy I saw as well, so we got some fans in the chat. Make sure to get your predictions in and cheer your guy onto the victory of today's Singapore race, as Matty Robbo is getting into his grid slot. Everyone is forming onto the grid now, getting into their grid slots now, only waiting for Sneaky Tom to get ready as well. And then we're good to go and on the way for today's Singapore Grand Prix. We got 5 red lights. Waiting for the glitch. Matty Robbo putting up the reps. And it's away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. It's a good start from Matty Robbo. Is Stumpy gonna be able to pull it down the inside? No, he's not. So it's Matty Robbo leading this race with KV already going around the outside of Dan as he makes it stick. So that's Mercedes P3 and P4. That's crucial. And I think Mazda now has to let KV go through to give KV a chance to attack Stumpy. We already got a battle between Sygate and Ricky. Oh, side by side on to turn 4. Ricky is gonna get ahead of Sygate.
And we had a few guys in the background crashing. Steve and Kelster swag. Steve has wing damage, and I think Kelster does as well. But so far, great run from Matty Robbo being able to hold Stumpy behind. But like you said, he's not pulling away from the medium runner of Stumpy, and already will those tyres be overheating.
Look at Sneaky Tom, by the way, P12 already from last on the grid. That's an amazing start for Sneaky Tom. He will be very happy with that one. And we got a great helicopter view as well through the hairpin.
He hits the back of, I think it's the racing point. So unfortunately, all that hard work, he's going to have to pit.
Let's see if I can get the telemetry up with damage. Don't see anything on the sheet, so yeah, but he definitely got on the right hand side. He's missing the end plate, the side end plate on the right hand side of his front wing, so that's a shame for Sneaky Tom, who was having such a good start. That's commentator's curse for him. I'm sorry about that one. But for now, Matty Robbo setting the fast lap, of course, leading today's Singapore Grand Prix for now. On those softs will be very interesting to see how long he can hold on to this lead. Those soft tires, you don't want to be on those tires like I said. So Stumpy will already trying to look and get past Matty Robbo, but for now he is close enough, but will he be able to make a move? Let's go on board with him. I don't think he's close enough to go down the inside, so he's got to wait, I think, one more lap with the DRS as well coming into play. Mazda is still in P3 as KV is struggling to keep up. He's got Dan behind on those softs and then Tichy on those mediums behind already. So yeah, Dan in a big medium sandwich. Other than that, all of the guys are fine except of Kelswick and Steve, who had a little incident. And I think Milsey's made a mistake as well.
Yeah. And trying to look further back, the hard runners. So it's in cemetery right now. All the hard runners have occupied P14 to P19 right now. A few guys need to pit. Steve, in fact, still in the pits at the moment. His bad luck continues. Stumpy, fastest second sector. He is starting to apply the pressure, and with each lap, Matty Robbo's tyres are going to quickly get worse and worse than they already are. He's missed the apex of the third sector. Fortunate for him, it's really an impossible place to overtake on. But we're expecting the soft runners to be pitting around lap 4 here. They will not last that long at all.
Yeah, and then it's time for Matty Robbo to pull out the massive undercut to maybe get in front of Stumpy as soon as he needs to make his pit stop. Oh, it was Mazda running very wide coming out of the last turn. Definitely some dirty air coming into play as well. That's not helping. But that was a very wide exit from Mazda, but it's all good. He stays in P3 with his teammate behind. And if I was Mercedes, I would have said it's a multi-21. You need to let Mazda go through if he wants to have a shot at Stumpy. But for now, Stumpy is gonna have a go at Matty Robbo with DRS. Is Matty Robbo gonna defend? No, he's not. Stumpy goes down the inside as he makes the move stick. Matty Robbo holds on. Oh, it will turn onto the inside from Matty Robbo now. Still side by side. Oh, great play. Good respect between the two guys, but I think Stumpy is going to come out ahead. Going into the Singapore sling. Yes, Stumpy makes the move stick. And that's the Ferrari up into P1. Oh, Stumpy loses it. It's a tank slapper from Stumpy. He's gonna, Matty Robert gonna come back at him and through the hairpin. No, he's not. Big tank slapper from Stumpy.
And they all had to try and avoid hitting each other there. It was like the concertina effects of the hairpins. It was almost a good night for Stumpy. But yeah, Matty, I think will be pitting this lap. Dan pitted at the end of lap 2, so I'm expecting the same from Matty, which will be music to the ears of the Mercedes guys, because they will not want that Ferrari of Stumpy to be pulling away now. Must have taken a very unusual line through under the grandstand.
Yeah, we saw Dan pitting last lap. Is Matty Robert coming in this lap? Yes, he is. So it's clean air from Massa now. But he's got more than a second of a gap to Stumpy. So I think, fair enough, he needs to hold off Tichy.
Yeah, because he is of course another guy on the soft tyres, and you just see the grip is already long gone on those tyres.
Yeah, he's gonna hold off Tichy now, and he's probably gonna make sure that KV is well over a second away when Tichy gets past. Massa will get DRS, so it will be very hard for Tichy to overtake. Is he gonna go for a late braking move? He's not. And this is very good for KV, as this is the time for him now to pull away and close in on Stumpy. Will he be able to? 2.2 seconds now is the gap, 2.3 seconds even. So it's definitely going to be very interesting to see if KV can close in on the Ferrari in front of him.
Absolutely. A little bit further back from P5 is Jay Prentice. He's got Connell behind him.
Yep.
So the Sovereign has come in.
Currently on board with Sneaky Tom, who stayed out with the wing damage as he is forming a big train behind him in P9. But he's doing a good enough job to stay out, which I think is a smart decision, knowing the track position you got right now, because people are making mistakes behind you and it's very hard to overtake around here. As we've got a yellow flag in sector 2.
I think it's Kelster, isn't it?
I think it's Kelsweg indeed.
Now the two Alphas are battling. They've come back out, and Dan and Matty almost. Yes, Dan has obviously been able to get the undercut on Matty. They're behind Chaos at the moment. Oh, Chaos runs deep though. So Chaos, aka Millsies, breaks too late, and that is music to the Alphas' ears. They can now continue on those fresher mediums. Oh,
as I said, Sneaky Tom does come into the pit, so he doesn't want to stay out any longer. He's probably gonna go for those hard tires. Let's see what he does. No, he goes onto the hard tires. Fair play, changing his front wing as well. Going back now. Tichy got past Mazza. Is Ricky gonna follow him as well? Yes, he does. That's Mazza losing 2 places in 1 corner. That's definitely not what you want. Tichy is through 3 seconds to KV in front of him. And KV actually closed in on Stumpy on the last lap. He put in the fast lap of today's race. So KV is doing a pretty good job. Oh, by closing in on Stumpy. Yeah, he retired in the pits. Fair enough. Kelsweg is gonna follow him. Is he gonna retire as well? You would say so.
Yeah, it's been a race to get for Kelster.
He puts on mediums, he's not retiring yet. So fair play to him for continuing on. You never know around here. It's such a long race. Safety cars are likely to come out. I will gamble on it. Just drive your own race. Try to get into the rhythm and then you should be good. Millsy's thought better of it. He has given up on today's race. Fair play to him, residing in the pits, all good. Mazza struggling on those softs. Fair play to him for staying out on those soft tires, because it will be a nightmare to drive on. It will be driving on ice probably as he comes into the pits.
Yeah, it's no good at all. And Ricky's looking really good, as I thought he would be. He's now all over the back of Tichy. It is a tricky track. If the guys only have a second quicker, it actually is quite tricky to overtake, because of the fact there's a lot of corners, so you get in that dirty air. And really, there's only one clear opportunity, and that is right now for Ricky. It's that DRS zone, as Matty sets fastest lap of the race, showing the undercut working.
Definitely, as soon as these guys are gonna come into the pits, Matty Robo will probably be ahead of them, as he's trying to pull Dan along with him. currently on board with Ricky, you can see that he's got still a lot of ERS left, so he's definitely saving his tires and engine behind Tichy, which would say that he's got something left in the tank. He's not showing his full potential yet. Fair play to him. Is he waiting for the rain, knowing that he will be faster than Tichy, or really go for a move in the next couple of laps? We've got to wait and see. For now, KV and Stumpy, the gap between them stay sort of the same. It's KV gaining 10th by 10th each lap. Two title contenders. There is a lot on the line in today's race. Both are not allowed to make a mistake, because that will hurt their championship a lot. So they need to stay concentrated, they need to stay focused, and don't make any mistakes.
This is great. This is what we wanted. The two championship protagonists at the front in the penultimate round of the season. Like you said, and with the drama that's going to unfold later with the rain, and at what stage that comes, and with all these different strategies. This is so early still. Lap 7 of 31. The race almost lasts an hour. As Thomas said earlier, it's the longest race in terms of time of the season. And yeah, it's great to see. But KV is bringing that gap down now. As the tyres start to wear, this is another key thing on setup. Does your setup eat into the tyres more? You notice it massively on the softs, but you do notice it as well on the mediums. Coming towards the end of their life, the tyre does drop off quite a bit, and it'll be interesting to see how well those tyres are doing. Ricky at the moment struggling to find a way past Tichy. You sort of know that if he can get past, he'll be able to pull away. It's just so tricky to find a place to overtake in. You come out of this hairpin onto the third straight because of that concertina effect. The guy ahead is always going to get on that throttle before you do, and he pulls away. Without that DRS, it's just impossible unless you get a really good run to make a move there.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, coming out of a hairpin, the guy in front needs to make a huge mistake for you to get past, definitely around here. Because the hairpin is so slow that there's no way you can make an overtake. As well as the tight section before the hairpin doesn't allow you to get even thinking about going side by side through the hairpin. So, yeah, that's not helping. Oh, Stumpy into the pits. Already 6 level mediums and going on to the hards. Is this strategic? No, thinking about the rain, or is this gonna turn out to be a mistake for Stumpy? That's a brave move.
I mean, at this stage, the mediums are still got a couple of laps where, because obviously you know the hards can last. I see what he's doing though, but well, I guess there will still be a slight advantage. The fresh hard tyre over 7 lap old mediums, I would have thought.
Oh, look at this.
Behind the 2 alphas.
Yep, then got in front of Stumpy as well. It's definitely not what Stumpy was hoping for, because he is behind Daniel with in front of him Medi Robbo. Medi Robbo very happy to see that his teammate got in between, and this actually gives us a good view about what is gonna happen to KV as well as soon as he makes his pit stop. Very interesting to see. By the way, with Stumpy going into the pits, we missed the overtake. Ricky put on Tichy. Ricky now in front of Tichy, and will be very interesting to see if Ricky will be able to pull away from the Ferrari behind. Jay Prentice still doing well in P4, with very closely behind him Connell. Pure Blades doing a brilliant job as well in P6, and Jizzy on his debut in P7. Good results from the guys so far.
The only thing I'm now questioning Dan and Matty for is I think they should have gone on to hards, because the mediums, like I said, really lap 13 or even 10 laps in, they've already dramatically dropped off on their optimum pace. They're currently 5 laps, or Matty's in 4 lap old mediums, Dan is on 5. So it's only a couple of laps fresher than the guys ahead.
Oh, Tichy's in as well.
So they are obviously deciding to go for an early strategy because of the rain. It has to be because of the rain.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see that they go on to the hards and not going on to the mediums if they know the rain is going to come very shortly. That's what I'm really surprised by.
Well, I guess they don't want to risk.
Look at this, because Massa and Saike are going to get past as well. So he's stuck behind Mazda and Saiga in P14. So both Ferraris are very closely behind cars in front. That's not ideal. And if KV's got any engineer or whatever giving him the information, I would say stay out as long as possible.
Yeah, unless the point comes where, I mean, to be fair, Stumpy is quicker than Dan is on his mediums. It just shows you, and I think this is what I meant by, I think this is why the hard tire might be better, because if they know the rain is quite a bit later in the race, the hards they know can last to the end now. Being on the medium, oh no, Stumpy hits the back of the Alpha of Dan, he's got wing damage. Oh, what drama!
Oh, missing the left-hand side of his front wing. That's crucial.
Yeah. Oh, that is a massive turning point in this championship potentially. It was out of nowhere. He just braked. He just got caught out, and he's surely gonna have to pit, and that's disaster because he's already used the hard. He's gonna have to pray for a safety car.
KV into the pits, hard tires. And Ricky in as well, Connell in as well, Blades is in. All going on to the hard tires now. But KV will he come ahead of Stumpy?
It
will be very close.
But Stumpy has got, I think he's going to do it.
Oh yes, he did.
And that is this
is crucial. It's because of the wing damage. Because without the wing damage, Stumpy would have been in front. So it's KV now leading this race and potentially taking the championship lead from Stumpy. The scenes.
Yeah, massive, and it's going to be, and Stumpy's going to be kicking himself. But importantly, the bigger thing is, had he not got wing damage, he would have only just been ahead of KV anyway. So the undercut didn't work. Coming in that early didn't make a difference, and that probably was helped by the fact that, yes, he did have Dan ahead of him, so he wasn't going at his true pace. But this is the problem, you can't, sometimes pitting too early is not the way to go, especially if you know there's some soft runners who've pitted early.
Yeah, definitely, and talking about the undercut, Tichy actually pulled it off because he got out in front of Ricky. So it's Tichy now again in front of the racing point with Mazda and Saiga in front of him. KV in P7, Stumpy behind, and it's the two brothers leading the Singapore race with Jay Prentice and Jizzy. Brilliant to see. With Forza Fredo and Raycon in P3 and P4, they're doing a brilliant job as well. And after, behind those guys, it's everyone who already made their pit stop. Jay Prentice is in. Is his brother gonna follow? Yeah, Jizzy is in as well. Forza Fredo stays out on those hards, understandable. Raycon stays out on hards, understandable. And after that, we got Matty Robbo on his new set of mediums. Well, they're already 7 laps all. So is the rain gonna come down early enough for Matty Robbo to stay on those mediums, or does he have to make another pit stop before the rain comes down? We've got to wait and see. Behind him he's got his teammate, and KV is 8 tenths behind Dan. Is he already gonna go for the move, or does he have to wait for the next lap? DRS is open as Pure Blades picks up 3 seconds. KV with DRS open, DRS mode free, but it won't be enough, so he's got to wait another lap. Well, Stumpy 2.7 seconds behind, of course with that wing damage, but Stumpy losing out on KV.
I'm going to say this now. You're looking at, this is the true race position order, because and this is what I meant with the soft runners. I think Dan and Matty, I think they should have gone on to hards. Obviously they know more than we do, but with those mediums they don't last. They do have a life span which is not like the hards. So Fredo and Raycon, they don't have to pit. They can definitely take these fresh hards on the very first lap. Obviously they're not tyres they've had to take over from Polly. They're fresh hards from the get-go. They're going to last till the rain starts. So we're looking at Fredo and Raycon leading this race. And Matty and Dan, if the rain doesn't come soon, they're going to have to pit again, and that will be a disaster.
Yep, so they will be hoping to see the raindrops coming down immediately, I would say. As there are some guys, well, probably, I think the whole field would be happy if the rain comes down now. But I think the likes of KV and Stampy will be hoping for it to come a little bit later, so that the Alphas have got to stop. I'm currently on board with Mazda. With DRS, it's gonna go down the inside of Stampy. It's the Mercedes versus the Ferrari, and the Mercedes comes out ahead. A little bit of a touch, but it's all good. So it's Mazda now up into P6. It's the two Mercedes in front of the two Ferrari. It's not looking good for both championship standings now. And Mazda is helping his teammate a lot in the Drivers' Championship. Look at this, Saige round the outside, makes the move stick. Brilliant job from the Toro Rosso driver. And Stampy lets his teammate go through as well. And now that's Ricky behind him. Oh, Stampy. There it is.
Yeah, I think he's hoping. I mean, it's getting to the point now where I'm guessing all he's got for tyres is a fresh set of mediums, and that would be it, wouldn't it?
Yep, it's only mediums or shorts, which are fresh tires. The rest is worn. So yeah, it's a hard decision whether you want to fix that wing damage or stay out. He's currently staying out, but you can see the time he's losing to the guys in front, and especially to KV. So you would wonder if it's not better and more beneficial to make a pit stop and change the front wing, because this is not helping.
But the problem, I guess the only thing is, round here you use a lot of time in the pit stops, and right now, although he is losing time, can you justify a pit stop for fresh tyres when you know you're going to have to pit again for wet tyres? If it was a dry race and you knew it was going to be a dry race, he's deciding. He's deciding.
This is what I wanted to say. Like, Singapore's got so many corners. It's so obvious when you got wing damage, because you're losing way too much time. It's much better to make a stop with fresh mediums now going onto the Ferrari and change the front wing, because you're just losing way too much time with damage on your front wing. It's not looking good for Stampy, and KV will be getting this information as he tries to get past Dan. He can't make the move stick. KV will be very happy to see a Ferrari down in P15, but he needs to gain more positions if he really wants to get any benefit from it, because currently only gaining 10 points in this race is not helping.
Yeah, the more this is going, the more I feel that the Alphas made a big error in selecting the mediums. As you can see now that the medium is not the tyre to be on. The hards, those fresher hards, are doing well. And when you look at Forza and Raidcon, you know, they would have had a couple of laps fresher hards than those two ahead. And maybe they wouldn't be so far up the field. The ones on Dan anyway are struggling. KV just has to be sensible, not to get carried away. He's got a fantastic opportunity to take big points in this race. He does not need to do a stupid move on Dan or any of the other three ahead of him.
Yeah, he just needs to avoid what Stampy did, and then that's running into the back of Dan. Those guys know each other very well. They probably won't be in a party together, but they will probably save each other and not causing any chaos. Forza Fredo leading the way. Raidcon very close, but I don't think Raidcon is keen on overtaking Forza Fredo. Maybe Robo is already closed in to these guys. Oh, he got past. No, that's Steve. Oh, I thought he got past Raidcon there, but it's not a McLaren. That's my mistake. It's Medi Robo still behind Raidcon, and is Raidcon gonna go for the move? He probably feels the pressure from Medi Robo, and with DRS is now looking to get past Forza Fredo. He's gonna be able to make the move stick. He has to go around the outside, and that's not gonna work. So it stays the same. Is Mirado gonna go down the inside? No, he's not. He thinks better of it, and this actually allows Dan and KV to close in on these guys.
Great battle. This is the battle for the lead, because the hard runners ahead, although they're on 13 lap old hards, they can go longer. And once this rain arrives, they can pit at the same time. So this is a great battle here for the top spot, and this is the area the guys have got to be careful not to hit each other.
It's actually class to see that a lot of these guys are still so close together. You almost say that there has been already a safety car out, but it's just full racing and green conditions all the way. So it's actually brilliant to see, with Forza Fredo still leading the way. Fair play to him, and Raidcon doing a brilliant job as well. And this is a problem for Mediroa, because Raidcon will get DRS from the back of Forza Fredo, and that's why it's so hard for Matty to overtake the McLaren in front. And it's not really helping that Steve is there trying to is sort of distract Medi Robo. I understand the position from Steve that he wants to unlap himself, but it's not really working. Medi Robo goes into the pits.
Yeah.
He's done with those mediums.
Yeah. And that is not what he wanted to do, because that will put him right down the bottom of the order, and that was the problem. The mediums were okay as long as the rain came halfway in this race, but it's not. It's coming towards the last quarter, and that is really not good. So now it's Forza, and you expect Dan to be pitting this next lap. So Forza, Raycon, Dan, and then KV P4, Muzza P5, Sygate P6. He's done well, but again he chose the medium route. So did Muzza. They both chose the medium routes. Oh, there was a. Oh, I just realised Fredo's got wing damage. I think Fredo's got wing damage on the right hand side.
And he's still staying in the lead.
Yeah.
Did he pick it up last lap, or is he running with it all the way through? Raycon picked up 3 seconds through the Singapore sling.
I don't know when he got it. It's a good point. But he's keeping them all behind for now. But it's just such a tricky track to overtake on, and now that Steve has managed to get himself unlapped, Fredo might. Well,
oh, he
Fredo
picked it up.
I
can actually see it. He picked it up on lap 4.
Oh wow!
Broke his right wing, and it went from 0 to 25. So I would say it's yellow. You can definitely see it, yeah, on the right hand side. Raycon not being able to get past. That's surprisingly to see.
Yeah.
Still holding on, and then stays out on those mediums. Surprised you need to see as well.
Yeah, I'm shocked from Fredo. Fair play to Fredo. He's keeping everyone at the pace for just having that little bit of damage. You know, even I know Dan is doing a great job of keeping KV behind, but again, Raycon getting a little quiet. Does Fredo get the DRS? No, he doesn't.
And then it's not gonna get DRS as well. This is the chance for KV to get past. Is he gonna make the move stick? Goes down the inside, and that's KV up into P3. That's a crucial move for the Mercedes. He pulled off there. It was the first time. Then didn't get DRS. And KV immediately made full use of it, and now Dan has got the other Mercedes of Mazda behind him. Crucial move from KV, and well done to him. Now he's got to focus on Raycon, and Raycon hasn't been able to get past Forza Fredo again on lap 16 of 31 here at Singapore.
Yeah, those fronts though on Fredo are going to really struggle late in the next few laps, so I feel obviously having to work harder with that lack of downforce on that front. And to be fair, Dan, the only thing, yellow in sector 1, that's some pitting I think. But yeah.
No, it's Kelseswag actually spun coming out of the last turn.
Oh. That's fair enough. Well, no safety car as yet. But yeah, Muzza, he is on mediums as well, and they're 10 lap old mediums. Sygate as well on mediums. All those guys are going to have to pit soon, surely, or they will just drop like flies. Yeah, we got now KV all over the back of Raycon. Like you said, Raycon will have the DRS. And catches all the way at the back of Fredo. He needs to try and get past Fredo.
Massa went into the pits.
Oh, Sygate and Dan. Sorry, Sygate and Tichy side by side there.
Oh, Dan stands well, was in front. Fair enough.
Raycon's close. Raycon's close. This is his chance. Fredo's got quite a bit of straight line speed. Here we go, side by side. And this could be the chance for KV to have an opportunity. Oh, Raycon! Oh my god.
Almost lost it into the wall. Yeah, Raycon is so low on the ERS, he's struggling to keep up with Forza Fredo. But you know what the thing is, like, this is where you need to be a little bit tactical. You know KV has got wing damage on the right hand side. So corners to the left is horrendous for Fredo. So at the end of the DRS straight, it's a left hand turn. So you need to make sure you sort of push Forza Fredo to brake very late, getting the understeer from the wing damage, and then actually make the switchback. I know I say a lot of things about the switchback, but it's actually beneficial in this case, because Forza Fredo has got wing damage. You need to play it smart now, because Raycon is not gonna get past on straight line speed because he's too low on ERS and he's probably running too much downforce. So he needs to do it in a different way, and that's forcing Fredo into a mistake or getting a lot of understeer because of his wing damage, but he's not doing both at this point. So you need to think about something else, because KV is now onto the back of you, and if you want to have some sort of gap between you and the next car, which is Dan, then you need to do something.
Even Dan's getting DRS now under the back of KV. That's how slow these guys are going. But wouldn't this be amazing if Fredo and Raycon finished 1-2 in this race? It's still a long, long way to go.
The scenes,
Raycon,
if that happens.
Oh yeah. Raycon again carries too much speed.
He goes again, but he's 6% ERS. You're not gonna get past with 6% ERS. And he's showcasing it now, and KV, because of the DRS of Raycon, is not being able to get past the McLaren.
Yeah, Raycon needs to save that ERS big time now.
Really in helicopter view. I wish I could select that option much more. I want to call it, but unfortunately, unfortunately we just can't choose what camera we want. Oh, Raycon! Oh, fair enough. I thought he made a mistake again, but that's actually his line onto the hairpin. Fair play to him. Yeah, I almost thought he ran into the wall there, because it's really easy to lose your back end through there. It's still overcast conditions on lap 18 of 31. Forza Fredo running in deep again, but still being able to stay in front of Raycon. Yeah, if you guys wondering why we're still watching these guys, it's because KV is currently leading the championship as it stands like this. So it's crucial for the remaining of this season to know what's happening between these two guys. If there are any battles going on further back, then we will definitely focus on them.
Someone's pitting. It's
Steve retiring.
Another great battle: Sygate, Tichy, Ricky, and Connell.
Yeah, just switch to them. Yeah, because Sygate is not gonna get DRS from the back of Dan, so it's on for Tichy now to think about a move. Is he gonna make it this lap? Oh, Sygate lost the back end, so it's Tichy's well in. Has to go the long way round. But he's already got the job done before the braking zone. Is Ricky gonna go for it as well? Ricky is gonna go for it. Oh, but Sygate shuts the door. And it's Sygate staying in P6. Oh, Ricky running into the back of Sygate. Well, I think it's all good.
Yeah, Ricky knew he had to try and take that opportunity. He's now looking at Tichy just fly away from Sygate. Sygate's tyres are overheated. They're like jelly.
15 lap old mediums, it's time for them to say goodbye and go on to either another set of mediums or the hard tires, because otherwise you're not gonna make it till the end of the race without having to make another pit stop.
Ricky's gonna try and go around the outside here. You've got, oh, he's locked a tyre though, and that can give Connell the chance. Connell's having a look. No, it's a difficult one to make the overtake. Ricky just holds on for P7 now.
Your Blades picks up 3 seconds, currently running in P10, taking the final point of this race. But you can see all of the guys in front of him, so it's not too bad actually being in that P10 for now. He's got a good chance of gaining more positions, knowing that Sygate has to make a pit stop before the rain is gonna come down probably.
Got an announcement, I think KV might have no DRS, because he didn't use the DRS.
Okay, rain began. See in the chat. It's rain. It's raining. Oh, with 11 laps to go, Sygate has to stay out now.
And KV doesn't have DRS. I can confirm. KV's DRS is broken. He's not using it. So drama. KV doesn't have DRS. But look at this. Raycon gets a poor exit. This is it. And so this makes Raycon and Forza definitely the de facto race leaders.
The scenes around Singapore, it's getting better and better.
And Forza with his damaged front wing, if he took the win, I mean, the only thing is now, if I was him, do you allow for that wing change? You can't, surely. You're going to have to just suck it up.
Oh, yeah, that's a good shot. Well, everyone has to make a pit stop, so you only lose the time of changing your front wing, which shouldn't be too bad. Looking at the track map, changing your front wing would probably force you to be between Dan and Ricky, I would say.
Yeah, but you think it's how hard it is to overtake round here.
Oh, Jim Prentice! Virtual safety car. Are these guys gonna go and pit for intermediates?
Oh, but is it too early? This is such a dramatic moment now for this race. Force is looking like he's going to come in. Raycon is as well.
Davey is in.
Who doesn't? Who's going to risk it? Oh, they're all going in. It must be quite slippy out there. Yeah, they're all looking like they're doing it.
So Raycon now leading the way because Forza indeed changed his front wing. He comes out.
Yeah, it looks very slippy.
Behind KV. So fair play. He is still in P3 with a new front wing. Yes, indeed. And KV in P2. Now it will be very interesting to see if he...
3 seconds clear.
Yeah, I don't know what happened between him and Raycon. Oh, look at Jay. Is that Jay? Running.
Yeah, he's struggling on the... It's got that wet that quickly. You sort of know he's completely... Yeah, they got wet super quick round here.
And somehow, Stumpy is in P9.
Yeah, I noticed. I think that him and Muzza must have had a moment. Because both him and Muzza dropped well down the order.
Strange, but yeah, fair enough. A gap to Connell. And Forza picked up 5 seconds going into the pits. That's not good.
I can't go with it. 10 laps to go. It's Raycon, KV, and Fredo.
Yeah, the scenes are, it's insane. It's tier 3, as you like.
Yeah, KV looks like he's already pulling away pace-wise on Fredo. Starting to catch up on Raycon.
But now...
Can Raycon hold on?
This is the time for Dan to show how good he is in driving in the wet, because he is begging every single race for some rain. He's getting it now for 10 laps, which are very long laps for him to gain positions. You can see Digi is struggling in front, and I think Dan is very keen on getting past Digi as soon as possible under the tunnel. No rain, of course, there, but then onto the straight. Look how hard it is raining already. Yeah. Will it be time for wets as well, coming towards the last lap of the race?
Well, that would be drama. That would be drama. I mean, and who would try and stay out on the Inters if that did happen? Raycon lost almost 2 seconds on that lap. KV much faster. Raycon obviously not happy in these conditions. Can KV? I mean, it's hard overtaking the dry. Trying to overtake around here in the wet with no mistake from the guy ahead. But that's tricky. You haven't got DRS anymore, so it's not all over yet. It's going to be really tricky for KV to find a way past unless Raycon makes a mistake.
Yeah, same goes on for Dan. Of course, no DRS, so you've got to do it on pure traction. And you can see Dan has got much more pace than Tichy, but where are you going to overtake around here? Yeah. It's almost impossible.
Well, that's what I was thinking with Forza's front wing. How do you not change his front wing? Yeah, okay, it's a struggle, but you've had trackers. Oh, Kelster! Kelster's flag. Could this be a safety car?
Let's see.
Nothing coming up yet.
Still yellow sector 2, it says. I don't think the safety car is going to come out.
He just retired on track, I think.
Oh, that's a shame. Hopefully he doesn't get into the way of people. Should be all good now. I can see him pulling away. Ah, that's not good. But we move on. Let's see KV and Raycon now 1 second between those two guys. KV is definitely quicker in these conditions.
Yeah, it's looking good for KV. I mean, for KV right now, I think he will, if he can take P1, he'll go for it, but he's not going to take, he's not going to make a stupid error. He's not going to make a stupid error here, because Stumpy's P9 at the moment. These are fantastic points for the Mercedes driver to take going into the final round. I would try and make Raycon. I'd try and force him into a mistake rather than going for a lunge. So, for Raycon, he knows there'll be big pressure for him. So just keep behind him, keep getting as close as you can, and force an error.
It's a good point from Jordi and Robert in the chat, because Stampy did get the fastest lap in this race. Let's see, fast lap indeed for Stampy with 1:49.6. So as it stands right now, Stampy finishes 6th, is tied with KV in the championship at this point. So it's crucial for KV to get past, because that would actually gain him another 7 points.
Yeah, that is the thing with the 25 points for first and 18 for second. It's you're right there. I still think KV can. I think Raycon will struggle to keep KV behind. Whether that's through error or through fair play of the move, remains to be seen. It does look very heavy though. That rain is getting heavier. Looking on the broadcast,
it's getting heavier, but it's tricky to say if we're gonna go on to wet conditions. I think for the wets, it needs to rain a lot more and a lot harder. Oh!
Is that Mike
No,
Robert?
it's Dan!
Dan! Oh, you're
With
right.
wing damage into the wall. The rain master made a mistake.
Is it getting wetter? I just wonder.
Yeah, is this a sign?
Yeah, they're looking very ginger. They're very gingerly around these corners. It's getting to that point. The lap time's 1:55.7. So let's just keep an eye on the lap times. Are they going to get any quicker or slower?
Yeah, that's a really good shout actually, because then we can see if it's time for those wets. Is Dan gonna go on to wets?
Dan,
That could be
be
the sign. Let's see. Yes, it's wets for Dan. So it's getting to that period where the wets are gonna be quicker. So now we've got Dan, and we can actually see if he is gaining time. And Mazda as well. It's definitely time for wets then.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, those guys need to gingerly going across. Forza isn't that much off the pace of KV.
Well, remember, he's got those 5 seconds because he went into the pits too fast with the last pit stop. So he's got to serve those 5 seconds. So he dropped down behind Tichy.
Unless he doesn't pit.
Unless he doesn't pit, but with 7 laps to go around this track, you definitely need to pit for wets. You're not gonna hold on.
But it's going to be more likely the guys further behind than the guys at the front who are going to make the stop first, because they're the ones with everything to lose if the gamble, or if it works out where the wets isn't enough to catch up. But I'm just looking at Dan's gap. Dan gap to Sneaky Tom is 6 seconds. And it's staying at 6 seconds for the time being.
Yeah, 6.2, so he's not really gaining a lot, as there's yellow sector. Oh, it is Sneaky Tom!
Sneaky Tom's had a moment, and Dan gets past him.
Wing damage for Tom, big wing damage on the left hand side.
The Inter isn't much slower, but it's much more on the edge. The lap time, Titch did a 1:56.9 then, so the lap times are getting slower. I think the wets are getting to that point.
And the thing is, like, I know KV is in the championship fight, so I understand the fact you don't want to take any risk, but it is not looking like KV's got the pace advantage over Raidcon to make a move. He is stuck behind Raidcon now. You can see he had the pace before the heavy rain, and if I was him, I would just pit for wets and try to get in front of Raidcon, because it's definitely getting to that period.
Raycon has 3 second penalty. Forza had 3 seconds, and he had 3 seconds. Okay.
But to be honest, Dan is still not gaining on Saige actually.
Yeah, to be fair, Raycon has 2 3-second penalties.
Oh, yellow, it's Raycon.
Raycon's made the
Race
error.
leader into the wall. And that's Forza getting past round the outside. Yes, he is. Raycon with a crucial mistake.
And Raycon, to be fair, had 6 seconds worth of penalties, massive wing damage. Forza has, Fredo has, I saw some further wing damage there. Yeah, KV's got no penalties, so KV was already going to inherit the race lead, which is why I guess he wasn't, he just forced.
Yeah, he was just not pushing.
Raycon into an unforced error.
Fair enough, Raycon comes into the pits and it will be very interesting to see whether he's gonna go onto the wets or stay out, or stay on those inters. Because then it's not gaining time on side gate, so it's going back to intermediate conditions again.
He's staying on inters. Yeah, shame for Raycon. But still, yeah, Fredo, at the moment, I mean, Tichy might be able to get P2 still. I don't know, I think Tichy doesn't have any penalties either, just like KV.
With a couple of laps to go, Raycon rejoins in P11 with a big gap to Dan actually, so he doesn't have to worry about him. And Stumpy is in P7 right now, 5 tenths behind Connell, but where are you gonna overtake? That's the question these drivers have been asking themselves for the last couple of laps. Such a hard track to overtake, especially without DRS. That's an Alpha, and that's maybe Robbo or Dan.
It's Dan.
It's Dan.
Dan on those wets.
Disaster.
Get us going again.
Yeah, it went from bad to worse for Dan actually in this race.
Yeah, those wets do not work. It was a gamble, but it didn't pay off in the end.
Oh, it's a Renault going very slowly. Oh, he's probably getting out of the way, I think. No, he's not. They cannot make a mistake. No, he let Stumpy go through.
Yeah. Stumpy's now in P6, 4 seconds behind sector 3. Another yellow. Oh, Jay's retired. He's hit the wall. Virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car.
So Jay, and that means Stumpy will. Well, he's behind anyway. But Jay, yeah, that's. I mean, it's not really do much, is it? Everyone's going to be. I mean, if it was a proper safety car, that would have been dramatic. But obviously, just neutralised the race for now. Yeah, Muzza, meanwhile, he went back to Inters and he's almost a lap down on his teammate in P1, so not a great day at the office for Muzza. So far, great day for KV.
Yeah, KV is doing a brilliant job. 2.2 seconds to Forza Freddo, so he is closing in. I think it's just KV not taking any risk at this point, which is fair enough. I would 100% understand that decision.
Yeah, Fredo's got in total 8 seconds worth of penalties to contend with. KV's got absolutely none. There is no point in risking any mischief right now. See, battle between Stumpy and Connell. Connell's still keeping Stumpy honest. He is less than a second behind the Ferrari driver. I mean, fair play, Stumpy, considering he got wing damage. It's very much damage limitation, and P6 will mean that KV does not have a massive gap, albeit he will retake the championship lead. It's the final round. It will not be a significant amount. So it will still be very much in his hands when we go to Suzuka. As we're about to head into the start of lap 28, 31. And in fact, the rain looks a little bit less now. but it's going to stay as I think as is now. The rain intermediates as the Mercedes Musa lets Fredo through. There's quite a big gap between Fredo and Tichy, so that strategy really worked. Those guys, it was unfortunate, the majority of people that started on hards got themselves into damage, into trouble. So it only left Fredo and Raycon as the only hard runners who started on hards to actually make their strategy work. And and now it's really Fredo that's been the only one to make it work, showing that the hard time really does it was the right choice.
Yeah, fair play to those two, and it's just such a shame for Raycon that he made that mistake, because otherwise he would have put off a great strategy call together with Forza Fredo. Forza Fredo, of course, he had that wing damage, but because of the virtual safety car he didn't lose too much time. Fixed his front wing, and he's looking for a great result in P2, so fair play to him. And it's such a shame to see those alphas being in P8 and P12, because there was so much potential if they just went on to those hard tires, I would say. Like you said before, going on to the mediums was probably not the right call.
Yeah, but it's one of those. Yeah, I think if you're looking at guaranteed, let's not having to stop again. You should always go to the hard, especially when those guys were doing. I mean, really, I'm surprised that the guys that went on mediums didn't pit again for mediums. They went on to the hard tire, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was again. I get it's a gamble, but if it says it's going to rain, it's going to rain. So it was a few dodgy choices, I thought. But I think the best strategy really was shown with Fredo. Great try from him, keeping KB honest. And in fact, they're massively pulling away from Tichy. Tichy's now 10 seconds behind Fredo. So it might be just the case that Fredo is just going at a really good pace.
Yeah, Fredo is doing a brilliant job. And with the big gap he got to Tichy, he should be feeling really confident.
Well, he'll be able to keep
right now.
P2 at this rate. He'll be able to kiss those 8 seconds of penalties. He's 10 seconds clear right now. So even if Tichy doesn't have any penalties, Fredo's now got the gap.
Yeah, 100%. Good shout. So yeah, that's class for Fredo, and I think Tichy being in a P3 will be very happy as well. And I'm looking now the battle between Blaze and Saige for the last points in this race. Saige just picked up 3 seconds. I don't know what that's gonna do for the result at the end of the race, but I think there will be happening some things between these guys coming towards the last lap if it stays like this.
Yeah, we've got now we're up to just 2.25 laps left.
It really is such a long race. It's just feeling like doing a 100% race around here, especially with the rain as well. It's really slowing down a lot of things, and it's such a shame because when it were like dry conditions we will be able to see some overtakes, but with the rain falling now, it's so rare to see any overtakes now. It's a shame for the race, but it's great strategy call from the guys to pull it off, especially from the top runners, because they just show good instinct on going onto the intermediates and not going onto the wets when it was definitely heavy rain conditions. As Jizzy picked up 3 seconds going through the fast left-hander.
Yeah, it's for his debut though, P5.
Not too bad actually. He picked up 3 seconds, I think, with Stumpy being in 2.8. I don't know about the penalty situation from Stumpy, but I think he's gonna gain position.
Yeah, great job. And we'll all be clarified. No, I don't think Stumpy on track. Stumpy's going to catch Jizzy. He might get him on penalties. He has now started to drop Connell. Connell's 2.8 behind. Matty is a further 2.8 behind Connell. And you've got Pure Blades all in Saige having a moment out of turn 3. Third holding up and out, and then Raycon closely following. All yellows in sector 2. That's a Mercedes, and that's Musa. So Musa going deep.
For a minute I thought it was KV. And then
Muzza's got no front wing though.
he
So
would have, yeah, and then he would have thrown in the old bottle, but it's all good now. Look at this, by the way, it's getting tasty for the fight for P3, the last podium spot with Tichy, Ricky, Jizzy and Stumpy all together. And is this Tichy holding off the guys behind so that Stumpy can gain? I think this is the case. I think it's Tichy genuinely slowing down, because he had 10 seconds like 2 laps ago to Fredo. I can't imagine Tichy being 2 seconds a lap slower than Fredo.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely slowing down. That is so. I've just gone on board with him. He's stopping on the apex.
I'm gonna say it now. Without Tichy, Stumpy wouldn't have been where he was right now in the championship. Of course, Stumpy had a great run where I think he had 3 victories in a row. That's pure own pace, don't get me wrong. But the last 2 races, Stumpy has been helped so much by his teammate. It's crazy. Like, fair play to them, it's what you need to do, and Tichy is being the best teammate possible. But it's definitely, Gavia's got to do it all on his own because of Massa getting caught up in too many incidents. It's Tichy doing a class of a job for Stumpy, being able to close in on these guys and actually gain positions on time penalties.
Yeah, and he's just going to use the power where he can. Tichy's been able to save. That's another reason why Tichy's got 90, or he had to 92% energy. That's someone who's not thinking about attacking. That's someone who's very much saving their energy and holding everyone back. Oh, gets a bit of a moment though, but just about holds on.
Yeah, but it's like, for Stumpy, it doesn't really matter if Ricky gets past Tichy, because he will still gain a position from Jizzy, because they won't pull away 3 seconds with a few corners to go. Portafello picked up 3 seconds, but yeah, nothing to worry about, as Tichy is 17 seconds behind.
Oh yeah,
oh, I know what he's doing.
Just letting Stumpy through.
Yep, so Stumpy will get P4 in this race.
It'll be P5, unless it's through penalties.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
through penalties 100%. He will 100% get past Jizzy. So Stumpy is gonna get P4. We go on board with Cave as he comes through the final corner. Class race from him, brilliant job, well done. Taking the victory here at Singapore. Frotserfedo P2. And Ricky is gonna take the final podium spot as it stands right now. We've got to wait for the penalty situation.
Yeah, I don't think Ricky's got any penalties, so I think Ricky should be able to take this P3. And they come across the line. Yeah,
Stumpy getting P4, yeah.
And Jizzy actually losing a couple of places in the end. Matty Robbo P8, Pure Blades.
Is he gonna take points?
He is, I think.
Would think so.
P9, it is.
He is. Class from Blades.
Raycon is able to get a P10.
So controversial race at the end once again. Because the gap between KV and Stumpy is 3 points now, as I see in the chat from Alp. 3 points going into the last race of this season.
We still got Sneaky Tom and Dan battling, and Dan on the wets, still on the wets. Just got no pace whatsoever. Unfortunately for him, it's been a pretty much a second half of a race to forget for Dan, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. Not his race today. He got his rain, but not the result he would have hoped for.
Yeah. And just to prove, Sneaky Tom's missed a calf front wing.
Again.
And it's still faster. So yeah, I think the injury was the tyre wheel.
Yeah, definitely.
He can still nick it on penalties. Here we go, final corner, we're going to get a drift. And drifting.
So this rounds off today's Singapore Grand Prix. Well done to the podium guys. We'll invite them to the party to get their opinions on today's race. We will probably hearing a very happy Fredo, together with I think KV and Ricky both being happy as well. Ricky getting another podium and KV getting into the championship lead going into the last race of the season. So there we have it, the final standings for today's race. KV P1, Fredo P2, Ricky P3, Stumpy P4, Tichy P5, Connell P6, Jizzy on his debut P7, well done. Robbo P8, Blades P9, Raidcon rounding off the top 10. Taking the final point, Saige P11, Tom P12, Dan P13, Mazza P14, Jay P15, Kelswag 16, Jay Prentice 17, Steve P18 and Milsey's P19. And Stumpy taking the fastest lap of today's race, which actually gives him an extra point as well, which could turn out to be crucial. Yeah, we will see that after next week's race. For now, I will invite the podium guys to the party. And we can hear their opinions about today's race. A chaotic, hectic race, but the podium runners did very well to hold on. So, GG to them. Get that Mercedes on screen right now, as we're waiting for the guys to join the commentary box.
What a great race. I know the rain does sort of lower things down because, especially on a track like Singapore, but it definitely shook things up and made strategies work. And it makes the championship even better now with one race to go.
Yeah, 100%. It will be very interesting to see how the championship is gonna pan out on last week's race around Japan. For now, everyone join the commentary box. Make sure your audio is unallowed to be shared, and then we can start with the interviews very shortly.
I hope it is this week.
Should be all good. We're gonna start off with Ricky in P3. Welcome, mate. Congratulations, first of all, on taking the P3 for today's Singapore Grand Prix. Surprised by the outcome, or were you confident about getting a podium in today's race?
I wasn't confident. I thought I'd have early pace to be with the leaders, but then sort of drift off. And to be honest with you, the rain came at exactly the wrong time because the medium guys were still in front. But yeah, tough conditions, tough track, and I have to say I'm over the moon with the podium. I know it was lucky because Tichy obviously played the team game, and congratulations to them and the constructors. But I'll take it.
Yeah, really well done. And having your teammate as well getting a good result at the end of the day. Were you in a party together? Did you have any communication with the last laps? Because we were very close together at the end of the race.
No communication. But I've raced against him and I know he can race wheel to wheel. So I'm not expecting any Silverstone 2.0 anytime soon.
Yeah, fair play. Congratulations, mate, on the P3. Well deserved, and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Going on to P2. I don't know if it's your first podium, but definitely not a name we're very used to. Fredo, welcome, mate, and congratulations on the P2. Yeah, opted to go for the hards, and it turned out to be the right strategy call.
Oh, thank you, mate. Yes, it's my first podium, so grazie mille. That's it, Totti. Anyway, yeah, it worked out perfectly, you know. I had the, 10 so laps fighting with Raidcon, you know, for everything, you know, just trying to make sure I could stay ahead of him because I knew that our strategy was if the rain comes, we're only going to make a one stop, and I knew I had to keep the leaders who, you know, KV and all the guys behind me, so I did everything in my power to try to keep him behind, and it kind of worked out. I never thought we were going to be on the podium coming to the end.
Yeah, especially with the wing damage you picked up on lap 4, I think it was.
Yes, that cost me a lot.
Yeah, but you were holding on to the P1. Was it you running really low downforce, or was it just Raidcon struggling to get past?
I think he was struggling to get past. I actually ran high downforce, and kind of purposely putting him in a position where he'd struggle to keep behind me on the straights, saving my ERS, throughout all the corners and then using it down the straights, and it seemed to work. He had 2 chances where I thought he might get me, and it just didn't work out for him. But hell of a battle.
Yeah, we saw it on stream. We actually we gave both of you a lot of airtime today, so you can definitely enjoy that when you watch it back. Yeah, after the safety because you changed front wing, and actually, yeah, pulled away from Tichy playing the team game and got the P2. So fair play to you.
I didn't understand what was going on because I thought, I was expecting the Ferrari to catch me because I just knew Tichy was fast.
Yeah.
But did something happen or you just?
No, he had Ricky and Jissy behind him, and Jissy had 3 seconds of time penalty. He was actually holding off the guys behind for Stompy to close back in and gain the position. Good. So at the end, he slowed down, let Ricky and Jissy and Stompy go through, with Stompy gaining a position on Jissy as well. So 2 positions for Stompy on the last lap. So that's why.
Very nice.
Yep, that was brilliant team play from Tichy, but yeah, it doesn't really matter for you. You took the P2, great result, fully deserved, and congratulations, mate. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Going on to today's race winner, KV, really well done, crucial result, and now actually gaining back the championship lead. First of all, congratulations. How tricky was it in those conditions going on to the intermediates, and at some point maybe even thinking about wets, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, if you can see like my face right now, it's just dripped full of sweat after that. It was so nerve-wracking. I mean, I knew I had to get a good result, but I didn't think I would. I was having throttle issues as well, so I was having to sort that out before the race. So come race time, I was like, just stay with Stumpy all race and just don't be stupid, just just keep banging in the laps and just concentrate on my own pace, and that's what I pretty much did. And then obviously Stumpy fell behind, and then it got to the wet weather conditions, and I knew that Raidcon had the penalties, so I didn't want to risk anything at all tonight, and I just stuck behind him, obviously till he made a mistake. So yeah, I'm absolutely shattered after that race, honestly.
Yeah, I get that. Singapore, longest race of the season, with rain, with the championship to defend. Yeah, tense conditions. Talking about the championship, if I'm not mistaken, the gap is 3 points going into Japan. I know you will put in a lot of practice. Do you think it will be enough to, at the end of next week, around this time, be crowned Tier 3 champion?
Well, we'll have to tune in and find out, won't we? But a lot of practice will be going in this week. I'll be honest, like this week I just didn't have time for much practice, and I somehow managed to get the win. So if I manage to do that without much practice, I'm putting in quite a few hours this week. So I'll have no excuses if I lose champion. If I manage to throw it away. So yeah, Suzuka's one of my stronger tracks compared. Like with Belgium last week, I was pretty strong around there, and Suzuka's up there with that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I just managed to pull it off, but we'll have to wait and see because Stumpy's been brilliant this season.
Yeah, yes.
I don't want to keep on and rant, but obviously I just want to mention Fredo. Man, I'm so happy for Fredo. Over the weekend he was doing Le Mans, and I was with him for quite a lot of it. And when he was behind me during the last few laps, I was over the moon for him because he's probably absolutely shattered from participating in that and then coming over tonight, and he made the strategy absolutely perfect, and I'm so happy for him.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say sorry. Yeah, so I did run the 24 hours of Le Mans on iRacing over the weekend, and the results were not where we wanted. So this P2 is very beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, that makes it even better, man. Congratulations with that one, because that's a massive result after being awake for 24 hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. Oh, well done, mate. And yeah, KV's welcome, congratulations, mate, on the P1, and good luck for next week.
Killer.
Yeah, with that, it rounds off today's stream. First of all, I want to congratulate the Ferrari guys. They put off a great season, and we saw some great teamwork, especially the last 2 weeks. So congratulations on them for taking the Constructor Championship. Hopefully me and Lewis can do the same tomorrow, but then for the better car, the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, it rounds off today's podium interviews. Congratulations again to all the podium guys. Well done, good race. Lewis, thank you again for joining the commentary box with me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure as always, and yeah, well done everyone. It's a tricky race, Singapore, and yeah, it's all about finishing. And particularly to you Forza, great to see you on the podium, making it all last, especially with that wing damage early on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No worries.
No worries. So with that, it's the end of the Tier 3 race. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Tier 2 race, and on Wednesday for Tier 1 and AM2, and on the Thursday for AM2. Other than that, if you want to support Console Speed, make sure you hit the subscribe button or the follow button. Both is well appreciated. If you want to support Console Speed even more, go check out the web shop. It should be in the description as well. And other than that, what I always say, thank you for watching, stay safe, and goodbye.